Anomaly.
Yeah, get the shit right. Yo, we are back, man. It's been a little bit of a wait, but Anomaly is back. We talking playoff basketball today. What up, D Everett, man? How you been?
What's going on, Myron? It's good to see you back from Houston, Atlanta, Vegas,
Hey,
touring the world.
doing a little mini tour. I see
Yeah,
you've been out here grinding. Rug business is booming. About to graduate as well. So, congratulations to that.
thank
Almost
you.
done.
Appreciate you, man. God
Gotta
willing. God
gotta
willing.
gotta post a Kobe Bryant meme. We not done yet. And then what's nothing to be happy about? What's to be happy about?
Ain't ain't done yet for sure.
But man, I tweeted today. Now the NBA season has started. This
Hmm.
is, I'll save my hatred for the NBA play-in game and my hatred for the NBA playoffs. The only league where, after a whole 82 games, 20 teams still got a chance. I hate it
Yeah,
so much. I hate it so much. But we're here now, and I think now it's really time to get interesting. Let's hand out some awards first for a great regular season.
hmm
So some coach of the year, some MVP talks. Let's do some honor and pass out some flowers to some people.
Okay. I mean, let's start with the small awards first. We'll start with the smallest. No disrespect. That Rookie of the Year award, and we're gonna get that to Paulo Banchero in my point of view. 20
Yeah,
game scoring machine. He the number one pick for a reason.
he backed it up. A lot of people, including myself, I wasn't like the highest on him at number one.
Mhm.
Honestly, I didn't know how it was going to fit, but some people were very big on Paulo, and he backed it up. He had a great offseason, good summer league, and
Yeah.
like you said, kind of the bad Orlando Magic team. Let's not get it twisted. It ain't much to see over there. But if you did tune in, Bankero was nice to see, and
Mhm.
he's a good little centerpiece, I think, for the Magic to build around. I'd give him Rookie of the Year as well. Honorable mention is to Williams in OKC, Jalen Williams. He had himself a very good season from Santa Clara. That's why I respect what he did this year. I mean, no one really expected him to have the year that he had or OKC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a surprise out there. And I think he showed he's just a all around player as well, which is
Do
going
it
to
all.
be for years and come. And that's a weird team. OKC, they're a tall team with a bunch of guys who can do a lot of different things. Both Jalen Williams
Yeah, right.
can play basketball. You got Shea 6'6". Chet, we haven't even seen Chet play yet.
Haven't even seen
So
shit.
big surprise this year.
Yeah, big surprise for OKC. Shout out to them. I mean, a lot of people just thought that they'd be playing for the Victor sweepstakes,
Yeah.
and just taking from the bottom. But they got a chance to make the playoffs, like we said. They got the play-in game starting soon. I want to give the Six Man of the Year award. I don't like giving it out no more because so many guys don't play and so many guys been resting. Like, who's a true six man?
Mm. Hey, listen. It's quickly, right? It's quickly. Emmanuel quickly out of New York, man. He done some career things. Uh, Jalen Brunson been at the helm, but quickly's been, man, when he's when Brunson's not there or when Brunson is there and he comes off the bench, he can handle his own.
See, Quickly's a good one. I wasn't sure how many. I know every time I tune in, so they got some injuries, so he might start a couple. But Quickly
Yeah.
gets my vote, just like Jordan Poole. When the Warriors are healthy, Poole come off the bench usually because the Dante DiVincenzo been starting,
Mm.
and obviously Poole's been one of the most electrifying players off the bench as well. So I like both of those picks. Those are two good ones.
Mm.
It's been a good year, I think, for the role player. We've seen a lot of role players step up this season.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. And even in these trades, I think even the casual fan has been seeing some seeing how valuable the role player is. And, there's going to be some teams who going to go get them a role player in this offseason.
Yeah, some role players about to get paid for sure.
Yeah.
Some players about to get paid. Coach of the year, I I got to give it to. We were talking a little bit about it before the show, but I've been very impressed with Boston Celtics head coach this year,
Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla. The way he stepped into that disaster and kind of kept it as an oil machine. I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's kind of the old allergy, just don't F things up. But he didn't, he didn't F it up.
Right.
Many coaches come in and try to make a name for themselves and do a little too much thinking. Boston Celtics back-to-back 60-win seasons for the first time since like 2012 or 2014. So I think props to Joe Mazzulla. He'd get my Coach of the Year vote.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's I don't think you can go wrong with that. But my pick is Mike Brown. Mike Brown at Sacramento. I mean,
what a season.
You could have gave me $100 to bet on any team to make the playoffs, and I would have had 30 tries before I picked the Kings.
Especially as a 3 seed.
Especially as a 3 seed. So I'm gonna say that Mike Brown did a good job getting them guys running, and a lot of people were like down on the Sabonis trade, but I think he maximized those guys' potential and got them small star games. So I got Mike Brown.
Sabonis had a really good year. I mean, his improvement from last year, he could be in a discussion for that award. I really like the award of Jalen Brunson for most improved player. I mean, they were talking last year in Dallas that Luka didn't have enough help. He goes over to New York, and like you said, he's leading the helm. He's taking control of the whole team, and he's been one of the best players, one of the best guards in the Eastern Conference. I thought he was snubbed from the All-Star team, and I think his name's got to be in consideration for most improved player.
Yeah, I think Brunson. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, I think Brunson is great. But I've seen Brunson win playoff series. I mean, last year we had this conversation about Dallas Mavericks playing Utah. I picked Dallas no matter what Utah had because of Brunson in his lead. So if we're talking most improved, I gotta go with Shea. Gotta go with Shea. I know he's been good.
I was gonna say he's been so dominant already though, but I feel you.
I think he made a great jump though. He made a great jump of like, all right, the fact that they're in the play-in tournament is really, I think that's really a testament to how good he's been this year.
You're right, because it was kind of like this is that year where it can decide, all right, am I just going to be a hooper, get my stats, and people know who I am, or I'm going to try to help this team win.
Yeah.
And like you said, almost night in and night out, he put them in a position to at least compete every game. Yeah, where like the last 2 seasons, it hasn't been competitive.
Really, and dude is averaging 30.
Quiet 30. Every night he come out, he's 35 and 6. Yeah, I mean, people haven't seen too much of Shea because of the OKC. If they make the tournament, if they make the playoffs and win this play-in game, people are going to see what type of player Shea Gilgeous really is, and he's one of the best guards in the up-and-coming guards in the league.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
MVP, man. Are we switching hands or are we going 3-peat? We 3-peating it.
No. Listen. My MVP is Giannis. I think people have gotten bored with how good he is, and I think that just shows right now he's the best player in basketball right now.
He got the Steph Curry, LeBron effect, huh?
Yeah, I think we just getting bored of how good he is. Dude is averaging 30, 12, and 5 assists, 55% shooting. So he's getting whatever he wants. They're winning. Yeah. They're top in the league. Got the best team. So I don't really see an argument like, you can argue for somebody else, but you can't argue Giannis down in my eyes.
No, and Chris Middleton missed 30-some games this season as well.
And he's still recovering, and he hasn't been the same Chris Middleton.
He hasn't been, and like you said, the Bucks haven't lost a beat. So Giannis is a great argument. I don't, like you said, I had nothing to knock. My MVP just got to go to that motherfucker out in Philly. That boy, that's a bad boy, man. Joel Embiid, I think he deserved it last year. They have some stuff to say about it, and he got, in my opinion, got snubbed last year. So this year he came out and I think had a better season than he even did last year. I watched him bust up Joker 2 or 3 times two times this year. Both times they matched up. So I don't want to hear the Joker discussion. I think Joel Embiid proved that he is the best big man in basketball for sure right now. And without him in the lineup, Philly is, of course, without Giannis in Milwaukee, I understand that they are definitely not filling seats. But I think what Joel does for Philly is so important as well. And both deserve the award. But I hope it's not a tie. I don't want to see no tie.
Oh, of course not. No, we're not giving no ties out. But yeah, I think Joel's been having a great year as well. I mean, leading the league in scoring.
As a footer.
Yeah.
As a footer.
especially when we tried to like count the big man out, say the big man was dead. So I'd love to see him get his flowers. I don't like how people try to make it like damn here award. Like no, if he wins the MVP, he earned the MVP. Like there's nothing to it.
Yeah, I've already heard the give it to Joel because Giannis got one already discussion. What kind of crazy reasoning is that? That's insane.
Yeah, they're not kids.
Yeah, no, both of those guys deserve it, but I guarantee they both trade that award to get an NBA title this year, and
of course,
both of them have, I think, a legitimate shot of making a run in the Eastern Conference this year. We start tomorrow with the play-in games in the Eastern Conference. Got a 10-9 seed with the Bulls and the Raptors. And people who aren't familiar with the play-in, the 7 plays the 8. That winner goes straight to the playoffs. And that loser plays the winner of the 9-10 seed. So in theory, the 9-10 team has to win twice. 7-8 team only both need to win once. In that 9-10 matchup, that's a weird matchup. Bulls and the Raptors.
It is a weird matchup. I'm going to have to go. Man,
that's so weird.
I hate to do this because I hate. No, I'm gonna go with my instinct. I'm gonna go with the GOAT, Pat Bev. That's what I'm gonna do and go with those Bulls. listen. Zach LaVine's great. DeMar DeRozan is phenomenal. Vucevic is good, but I'm going strictly off Pat Bev. That's what I'm going off of. Pat Bev don't miss the playoffs. We're going with Pat Bev, baby.
You got to double down on that because first episode after the trade, you said Pat Bev don't miss the playoffs. So
Pat Bev not missing, so I'm sticking with Pat Bev over there. That's whatever y'all got to say. Cool, I'm rocking with Pat Bev, baby.
Yeah, that's a nasty game. I'm gonna go with the Bulls. I think they got too much firepower for the Raptors. I don't know about Pat Bev, but I think Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan should be too much for them. Then you got the 7-8. You got the Hawks. Man, what a disappointing season, honestly, for the Hawks. Let's just be honest here.
I mean, they went, they put a lot of chips to get DeJounte Murray, to no fault of his own. It's not his fault, but, it just hasn't really, gelled.
It's not working.
Seemingly. And, that may just be position-wise. Everybody wants to point the finger at Trey, but, this dude is sensational. So it might just be a fit thing with the the pieces around them, and it's a lot of different factors that play into it. But otherwise, it's kind of been underwhelming.
Yeah, and a brand new coach just came in. Guy who hasn't coached in a year and a half. He comes in and takes over the team. So, like you said, a lot of pieces moving. They got a play-in game matchup against the Miami Heat, a proven team, a team that I don't want to play against in April. If I don't care what seed they are, so. I'm gonna take the Miami Heat over the Atlanta Hawks in that 7-8 matchup, I think.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm a Jimmy Stan, so I think Jimmy Butler is just gonna will that team. He gonna drag that team if he got to as far as they can go. So I'm rolling with the Miami Heat.
So that brings us to the Hawks and the Bulls for that last playoff matchup. I'm in Atlanta. I got the colors on. I'm gonna say the Hawks, and also it's just it'd be really disappointing of a season to lose a play-in to the Bulls too. I mean, the Hawks have to make the playoffs. Have to.
Yeah, man. I think it would be disappointing too, but Pat Bev. Pat Bev. So I'm rolling with Pat Bev and the Chicago Bulls again.
Dude, Pat Bev won that Trae Young matchup too.
Strictly off the strength of Pat Bev, man. I know Zach LaVine gonna, get about 30. DeMar DeRozan gonna play on the post. Pat Bev gonna make the impact.
And that's what scares me about the Hawks, man. They don't play no damn defense. And a team like the Bulls is not a good team you don't want to play against. Oh man, yeah. If the Hawks miss the playoffs, someone's gotta get traded. I think it's that bad. It's that bad of a season.
Where do you point the finger at this point? Like that's
I don't know. Trae Young led the league in assists. You can't even say he a hog. He led the whole league in assists. It's just like, I don't know. He averaged like 27.
And top 10 in scoring. So he's been doing it. So
yeah, like he didn't fall off really at all this season. I said it earlier. They need more from John Collins. I've told you, John Collins cannot be a 12-10 guy. 12-9, that ain't gonna cut it. And I know it's hard for him to get his touches. There's a lot going on there. He's probably getting like 12 shots a game. So, I mean, it's definitely tough. But they got to figure out something. That's way too talented of a team with way too talented of a guard to be consistently sitting at home in April after first round exits.
It's tough to say where they should need something from. That's just a tough team. I mean, you got a backcourt giving you 40 points a game, 45, so it's tough there. And then, Trey trying to spread the love to his bigs with lobs. The guy I know they also traded for Sadiq Bey, and tried to beef up the wing depth.
Tried to spread the floor a little bit. Hasn't shot that well since he's been over, yeah.
And it's just been some up and down, guys. It's like you never know what you're gonna get. So I really wish I had the answers for that one. I think they might just mix things up.
Yeah, I think so too. Western Conference play-in games, 9 and 10 seed. We got the shocking OKC Thunder against the New Orleans Pelicans. I just want to say Pelicans are having OKC's having a fun time out here, man. So I want to go with the Thunder just because, like you said, they out here playing with house money. They don't care how the season turns out. They had no expectations coming into the year. They're out here just playing together, a bunch of hardworking guys, a Shea and a bunch of others, as TNT would call them, and they hooping right now. So yeah. I think they hooping at the right time. I think Pelicans have a lot of things to figure out. Besides what's going on with their star player Zion, I've never seen a guy have a pulled hammy and been out for this long. This is the longest hamstring injury of all time.
I mean, yeah. I'm personally gonna go with the Pelicans. I think despite Zion being out, I think Brandon Ingram's their best player, a guy who can really do it all. And I think he's gonna be a guy. If you give him one game, he's gonna have a big outing. They got some big shot makers over there in Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. I think they got a balanced team. You got shooters in Trey Murphy, defender in Herb Jones, big guy in Valanciunas, who OKC has struggled with bigs all year. So yeah. I'm rolling with the Pelicans.
7-8 Lakers, Timberwolves. I think the Lakers are the favorite in this game. I'm gonna roll with them. I think this nice little revenge matchup for Beasley and Vanderbilt as well. And we saw Timberwolves kind of got some stuff going on. I'm gonna take the Lakers here in a 1-game series. I'm gonna go with LeBron James.
I agree.
Let's just keep it simple.
They should do, and that would be the ultimate disappointment if we can't pull that off.
Yeah.
You got a healthy Lakers team coming to play, so I think that's the biggest thing, and that's gonna be my pick.
And then you got the Wolves and the Pelicans. Who do you think gets in the playoffs for that last 8 seed in the West?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I'm gonna still roll with the Pelicans.
Ooh.
That's tough.
That is tough.
I don't think the Wolves have gelled all year. I still, Karl Anthony Towns still hasn't really, got back into like form and fully conditioned. Even though he's had some up games, I think it's been some up and down. Still trying to find that long injury.
Yeah, and the Rudy Gobert Twin Tower experiment has not worked. I mean, their plus minus together on the court this year is horrendous.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna say I think it will be a dogfight just because of the fact that they still have Anthony Edwards, who despite all the stuff that they got going on, Anthony Edwards is taking a good step.
He had a good year, low key.
Big step, and it hasn't been highlighted as much, but I think he'll give him a fighting chance.
Western Conference, man, let's get into it then. Let's get into the good games. Playoffs officially kick off round 1. Let's look at that 4-5 matchup. I think the Suns, the Clippers, this has a chance to probably be the best game in the opening round. I like this game to go. I like this to go 6, depending on Paul George.
Yeah, I would say 7. or without PG.
Even without PG, still 7? Dang. I would say 7 for sure. If they had PG, 7.
I just feel like Kawhi is really I don't think he's typical. I don't, I think if he was like a typical, just regular, really good 3, but I think, he gets it done on both ends. I think he's a legit game changer. I'm wish I could lean to one way or another, but if I had to lean one way, I would go with the Suns. I would have to go with the Suns.
But the Clippers are scary.
I think it would be a dogfight though.
They've added. I mean, after that amazing trade deadline they had, I mean, they just added so many pieces. I mean, Eric Gordon has been such a quiet pickup. Bones Highland has been amazing. I just love, like you said, the flexibility the Clippers have. They got a couple of different guys, even without Paul George, that can give you 20 with Kawhi. I mean, Norman Powell has had a quiet, fantastic season, averaging about 16 this year. Nick Batum might score 20 for no reason on you. Like, they just got those type of guys who are just gamers, you know, and that's what I like about the Clippers. And when I think about the Suns, I talked about the Suns not really having a tough guy. That's my only issue with the Clippers, is I think the Clippers could potentially punk the Suns. I do, because I can see that happening. But like you said, if I have to lean one way, I got to go with Kevin Durant. I got to go with Kevin Durant and the Suns because they're healthy as well. That's a lot. That's a lot. Barring health.
Barring health, because, you know, it's playoff times, and everybody on that Suns team has a history of getting hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah. If they had Paul George, I could probably go with the Clippers, because the Devin Booker, Paul George matchup, let's get your popcorn ready. Kawhi, KD, you know, let's get the popcorn. But without Paul George, I mean, that's just a lot for Eric Gordon and Norman Powell and Robert Covington. You know, now they're gonna set a bunch of different bodies at KD now, and I kind of honestly expect Kawhi to play, not checking KD, might check a little bit of Booker.
They're gonna throw a bunch of bodies, like you said, and that's probably gonna be one of the best first round matchups we can ever ask for.
Chris Paul is gonna be the X factor in that.
I'm gonna call somebody off the bench as an X factor. I think if given the right chance, I think Terrence Ross off the bench for the Suns could be an X factor. I think Bones Highland can also be an X factor.
Yes, I like Bones still. And don't forget about Terrence Mann. You know, 2 years ago, he had a huge playoffs for us 2 years ago. Kind of had like a step back season, some could say. But he's proven to be, at least in the playoffs, a gamer. And that's another wing ball handler that they got on that team. Clippers are dangerous just because of how many different tools they got. They can come at you a lot of different ways. So you got the Suns in 6 or 7? You got the Suns in 7.
I got the Suns in I'm gonna say 6. Suns
in 6. I got the Suns in 6 too. Just because I don't think Paul George is gonna play this series. I think Paul's gonna be out the whole series. So I got Suns in 6. Kings, man. The Kings are in the playoffs with no Chris Webber, no Mike Bibby, and they did it. No Rick Adelman. I mean, what a time for the Kings to be in the playoffs. This is dope. I mean, they ain't been in the playoffs in what, 2002, 3?
Man, I read a stat the other day that said the Kings haven't been in the playoffs in so long that nobody in the NBA has played on the Kings or against the Kings in the playoffs.
That's actually crazy. So the Kings are there. How do you like their chances? I mean, I deem the Kings this year as a typical Utah Jazz team. In terms of regular season, they have a benefit in the regular season. No one is excited about playing the Kings before or after a back-to-back with the Warriors, the Clippers, the Suns, or the Lakers. And that's usually how you end up playing the Kings. Before or after in the travel break, no one's pumped about going to Sacramento. And NBA players take days off, they rest. I think Sacramento has benefited greatly from that. I think they've had a good season as well, but I just don't think teams have really taken them seriously going in it every night. Like, how can I stop Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox?
If they ain't take them serious, that's their damn fault. I mean,
20%.
They the number 3 seed for a reason. They earned it. So, I playing the Warriors, I don't think they've played enough games. I don't think they've played enough games. I think the Warriors are a seasoned team. I think the Kings are still a game, though. I do still think they're still a game. I have to roll with the Warriors over there.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that the Kings do have is the Warriors have been the worst road team in basketball this year. Yeah. And the Kings get the first 2 at home. So that's the one thing that they get. If they can win both at home early, possibly they could shake the Warriors. But like you said, I think the Warriors have played too much basketball. I don't think they're really worried about their seeding. Not really worried about where they're playing at. They know it's playoff times. I got the Warriors in 5.
Yeah, like it's Kings might steal a game.
Yeah, I think this Kings could win game 2 in Sacramento. But after that, I got the Warriors in 5.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Memphis Lakers, man, this could be a good one. I'm really excited about the depth of the Lakers now moving into the playoffs. Vanderbilt has been really good for them. Beasley's been good. Shout out Austin Reeves. I think my Lakers got a chance to make a nice little run in the playoffs as a 7 seed, low key.
I would agree, man. You know how we raved about, Jared Vanderbilt and the things that he can do.
You were huge on Jared Vanderbilt.
You said what?
You were big on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think he's a good defender, great rebounder. Memphis has had their, ups and downs with their young team.
He didn't know how to say it with they had some off the court issues.
And they haven't been like as fluid as we've seen them being in most recent years. So I think, they got a chance. I think that'd be a competitive series for sure. But I will roll with the Lakers there.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lakers too. I'm also thinking no Steven Adams, no Brandon Clark. I think that can come back to hurt them as well. Jaren Jackson, we love him, but the guy loves foul trouble. And a guy like playing against Anthony Davis, that's not a guy who you're going to have foul trouble against. Mm-hmm. And Xavier Tillman, Kenny Lofton Jr., shout out to y'all, but y'all both are 6'6". It's going to be a long night. So, yeah, like you said, I got the Lakers. I want to say 5, but Ja's a bad boy. And the Lakers are really bad defending the pick and roll. So I want to go Lakers in 6.
I would say Lakers in 7. I think Ja still, he's still him. He's still him. And
he's still one of them ones.
I think Desmond Bane gonna have a good shooting game against one of these games in the series as well. So I would go with 7.
7. Nuggets versus the Pelicans for you. I got the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. I got a sweep.
The Nuggets sweeping the Timberwolves?
I got a sweep. I think no Jaden McDaniels for the Timberwolves is going to hurt them a little bit on defensive end. They really need him against a guy like Michael Porter and all the different weapons that the Nuggets have.
Mm-hmm. You see, me on the other hand, I got the Pelicans. I got the Pelicans beating the Nuggets.
Dow goes the 1 seed. I love it.
So that's just me. I think Brandon Ingram is great. I think, he's a 3-level guy. I think he'll be able to control that series. And then you got tough shot makers in Brandon Ingram himself, CJ McCollum.
CJ's ready, yeah. If they pull off that upset, that's going to mean Jonas Valanciunas stepped the hell up.
Or stays out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
I think, Valanciunas is a big body to have against Jokic. Jokic is MVP, reigning MVP, so he's going to definitely have a good, series. But I think I'm going to take the upset and get the Pelicans.
I love it. I would love to see that. Going on to the Eastern Conference, man, we got the Bucks. Both of us think the Bucks and the Hawks. Oh, man, this is just not a good matchup for Orlando. We saw how this went last time. Drew Holiday's about to smother Trey. You do love that you got DeJounte Murray here now to kind of help with that. But I just don't like the matchup. I do not like the matchup with Giannis and anyone on the Hawks. I'm gonna go Milwaukee. I'm gonna go Milwaukee in 5.
You got the Hawks. I got Pat Bev.
That's true. You do have Pat Bev.
I'm still going Milwaukee in 5. I think the Bulls have personally had trouble inside guarding Giannis as well, which is I guess the entire league.
Yeah, right.
But I definitely got Milwaukee. I think they just walk in there and they've been together for long. They know what they want to do. I got Milwaukee.
I think the best series in the Eastern Conference probably in the opening round. Cavaliers and the Knicks. Man, I'm gonna let you go first. I don't really know. I don't really know.
I think it's gonna be one of the most entertaining series. I got the Cavs though. I talked about the Cavs. I think they got 2 big shot makers. two guys who can hit the shots off the dribble, and Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Two defenders, and Mobley and Jared Allen, who gonna defend the paint well. Mobley probably be a little bit of an X factor and bring a little bit of scoring that people didn't think he could do. I got the Cavs.
I think this is literally the Donovan Mitchell series. If Donovan Mitchell is the best player in this series, then they win. I think he's the reason that they did this big trade for him in the offseason. I was very against it. Talked about how there was no point of doing it. They're not going to win with it. I think this is the series to make me eat all my words. If he comes out and have a dominant series, because the matchups are favorable. He's gonna get RJ Barrett, who's not really known for his defensive skills, or Emmanuel quickly. I think they got chances here. Defensively, I'm worried because they got two guards with 6 feet, and RJ and Brunson are two physical guards on the other end. But I think I got Cavs in like 7. I think this is gonna be a really good series.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Randle, I love him in New York. Obi Toppin has come around late for New York as well. And Tom Thibodeau is going to coach defense. I think he's going to make it really difficult for Cleveland to score.
I think that sounds good. I think Donovan Mitchell hits really tough shots. I think Garland hits really tough shots. And that's why, I got to roll with the Cavs. But, shout out to those guys, those Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, who, did a great job of, bringing the Knicks back to some relevancy.
For real.
And I think it's also something to note that Donovan Mitchell is from New York. So he's going to have some big games. He's from New York. So
if he's him, if he is like you said he was this offseason, then I think they get this series.
Don't forget we had a 30-minute argument about this trade.
I was so against this trade. I was very against this trade. I just didn't think it was moving the goalpost too much. But I am pumped for Spike Lee to be back in the playoffs. With actually a chance to win the series. I'm actually pumped to see Spike on the sideline acting a fool. He probably should not talk to Donovan Mitchell, though, like you said. He's from New York, so he might be ready for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sixers and the Nets. Shout out Brooklyn. They traded KD and Kyrie and maintained and only dropped up 1 seed since the trade. 2 seeds. They were the 4 seed at the time of the trade. Now they're the 6 seed. Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
You said he was a bucket, but damn.
Yeah, I think he's just showing one. He's Phoenix. He's a defensive stopper.
Yeah. New role.
Could have won Defensive Player of the Year last year. And now he's jumped from 17 to 27 points a game since the trade. And just unlocked, and it just shows that role and fit in the NBA are everything. So. Getting that opportunity is great to see. And they're going to have some asking prices about Mikal in the offseason as well. And if they want to, stick there, he got a nice piece to build off of, a solid wing. But I got Philadelphia being a little too much. Joel Embiid is unguardable. You still got James Harden leading the league in assists. So I think Philadelphia will be a little too much for this, young Nets team.
Yeah, I think so as well. Definitely shout out Mikal. He's had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
If he only because the second half of the season, he could definitely be most improved for the second half of the season because his stats have skyrocketed, like you said. Nick Claxton, this is a lot for him. He has played very well against Joel in their matchups, though. I will give him that. But playoff time, like you said, I think the Sixers just got a little too much firepower. Definitely with them resting their guys the last 2 or 3 games too. I think they'll be fully healthy coming into it. I got the Sixers in 5.
I'm gonna say the Sixers in 6. I think it's gonna be some surprising games from guys like Dinwiddie.
Joe Harris.
And I think Mikal Bridges will have another good game. So I'm gonna say the Sixers in 6 though.
Last playoff series of the first round, Boston, Miami. Don't look at the seeds in this matchup. 2-7, that doesn't show what this is gonna be.
Don't matter. Listen, I was wrong last year. I picked Miami over Boston. And I'm willing to be wrong again because I think I'm willing to be wrong again. I'm going with Miami again. And You can look at me crazy, but that's my pick. I think Jimmy Butler is a dog. I think if it's a chance, he gonna try to find that chance. So I know the great year Jason Tatum is having, the great year Jaylen Brown is having, and I'm not diminishing those. I just think Jimmy Butler got a little extra notch to him.
How many?
7.
Miami is 7. It's gonna have to be 7 for sure, because they're gonna have their hands full with this Miami team, with this Boston Celtics team for sure. I'm gonna go with Boston. I just don't think Jimmy has enough defensive help, and that's what I think they're missing with the Tatum Brown duo over there. Jimmy can only check one of them, and the other one getting busy. So I got Boston in 6 because I do respect Jimmy Butler. I do think he finds a way to get a couple of wins in their arena. I don't see them being able to win in Boston, though. I think it's going to be an issue.
I think, that story has been like they've been struggling offensively all year. So hopefully we got a healthy Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo can pour something in, or guys like, Max Strus. So, they got an offense, their offense going to have to come from somewhere. And I think, those guys are going to remember that matchup as well last year and how they got sent home from Boston. So I think they're going to have a little edge to them. So we're going to see. That's going to be the fun matchup.
It will be. It'll be very good. 10 teams are already headed for Mexico. Their season is over. Who's the most disappointing team you saw this season? We know the most surprising team is the Sacramento Kings. No one in the NBA, not even Tim Ledger, the expert, saw the Kings finishing the 3 seed. Who was really you disappointed with this year?
I think that's clear. It's the Dallas Mavericks. I think a lot of people had like Luka as the preseason MVP. We boasted about him so much, and they make the Trae Young and Luka comparisons. I think it's so much to it. I think that's the most disappointing team.
It's so much to unpack too. Like, how did they possibly drop that far that fast?
Yeah.
Like, there should be a 30 for 30 doc on this shit. Like, it's actually, how did you, we talked about when the trade happened too, though. They moved over their heart. You move over Dorian Finney-Smith, a guy who's doing the little things for you defensively and offensively. You move over Spencer Dinwiddie, and like you're looking like, oh, okay, this is NBA 2K. I get Kyrie Irving, but like the things that you don't think about, you've lost. And Dallas played some of the worst defense I've seen in basketball over the last 20 games of the season.
Agreed. That defensive component is definitely hurting them. We will not be the platform to blame Kyrie.
No,
That's not what we're doing. I just think, they kind of missed out on role players as well. And they did something weird, which did look like they weren't competing in the last game of the year to have a chance to, get in the play-in.
What was that?
So a little confused on that.
The NBA's even investigating them. They got so confused on that.
Yeah.
They had a chance to make the playoffs, and the last 2 games, they just benched everybody. Say, we're preparing for next year. Which is weird, because they would have been like, and they get a chance to be like the 8th seed and play the Nuggets, who you just picked to lose to the Pelicans.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, like they had a chance to. It wasn't like they had a game that they were, a series that they couldn't win. I don't want to see Luka and Kyrie in a 7-game series.
Agreed.
In April, that's a possible 80 points right there. I don't want to see that in a 7-game series.
Hey, listen, they're going to do their due diligence, and we're going to find out what's going on in Dallas.
Hey, shout out to the Detroit Pistons for a successful tank job. Very proud. They did it perfectly. Case healthy coming into the next season. You fired Dwayne Casey, get him up out of town. The Detroit Pistons, I think, have the cinder blocks like pointing in the right direction. I can't get too excited yet because Detroit, we had some crazy shit happen to us all the time. But things are looking good here.
Yeah, man. I think Troy Weaver made some crazy moves. Like you said, successful tank job. We got our rookies playing a lot of minutes, getting a lot of experience. And, it's going to be tough. What pick we get, we picked up Wiseman. We got Duran. two guys who, shown they can be great starting blocks for that center position. But, there's also an alien in France that they're tanking for. So it's gonna be very interesting, and it's fun in Detroit right now.
It is. I like how Troy did it because he's kind of prepared. Like, if we don't get Victor, like you said, at least we got 2 footers still in Wiseman and Durant, and then we still get a guy like Brandon Miller who could really fit in very nice at 6'8", a pure shooter, next to a Cade and Jaden Ivey. So, yeah, Troy's making some moves over there. I see that the Pistons probably are going to hire former Boston Celtics head coach. So stay out the streets, man. Detroit's tough. There's some beautiful women there, man. Watch out.
Yeah, that man better go try to get his wife back or something. He don't want no parts of these Detroit streets.
You need to go to Word of Faith or something.
Hey, but that'd be a great hire for this young team. We seen what he took the young team, the young Celtics, to the finals. And it'd be interesting to see a different voice in their heads right now.
Bring some energy to the locker room too.
For sure.
One thing for sure, him and the Celtics, they played fun. They played some really fun basketball. And while obviously Cade and Jaden aren't Jaylen Brown and Tatum, but they got potential to be a dominant duo. And he's got some familiarity with that as far as getting those guys open, pick and roll offense. So if he comes to Detroit, I really like the chances of Detroit being in this play-in conversation we're having right now next year.
I agree. I'm definitely excited for next year, Cade, as well.
Anything we missed? Anything else we got to talk about? I know playoffs are going to be so interesting. I'm personally just so happy it's finally here. Regular season basketball is sometimes kind of hard to watch. So I'm ready for the whistles to get tighter. I'm ready for less traveling, less carrying, and actually starting to call the game better. And that playoff atmosphere is just, it's not like it.
Oh, man, I'm ready for it as well, man. It's time to get serious. It's time to get serious and see the real NBA. I can't think of anything we missed, man. We're going to worry about the offseason and the offseason. Those who got an early vacation, good for you. But we worry about these playoffs right now.
Yeah, y'all have fun in Mexico, but it's a lot more basketball to come back. We'll be back after the first round of the playoffs, talk about the recap of the first round, and then make our second round predictions. But I like your sleeper pick of the Pelicans so far, and I'm with the Lakers. I think the Lakers and the Warriors are the 2 most dangerous teams in this playoffs. You just don't want to see either of those players in the 7-game series.
No, not at all. I'm definitely excited to see it, and that's the beauty. I think this is one of the best playoffs we're gonna get.
Yeah,
competitive through the board. So, I think anything can really happen.
Anything can really happen. D Ev, thanks for taking some time, man. Anomaly episode 3, we back in the house, man. Congratulations again on graduating, bro. That's a blessing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you, man. Good to see you again. We're gonna talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Anomaly, a podcast presented by Sports Time with my